Lake Nakuru is located on the floor of the Rift Valley. It's a soda lake found at an altitude of 1,754 metres above sea level. That's more than a mile. In the Maasai language, Nakuru means dust or dusty place. It's best known for its thousands, sometimes millions of flamingos nesting along the shores. The flamingos feed on algae created from their droppings, mixing in the warm alkaline waters. Landlocked Uganda has a population of 30 million people and is a country of great cultural diversity and in recent years one of the most progressive countries in the region in terms of health education in relation to AIDS. Still up. And the sky was a very blue. The rain is falling. The rain is falling. Say, the rain is falling. Well, it washes away those lonely tears. The rain is falling.
When it is still in the field, it is tea, green tea. But when it is processed, it produces black tea.
When the leaves become too hard, they're no good for picking. The bushes are then pruned so that new growth can be generated. Guatemala plants are used to protect the young tea bushes. Only the top 2.5 leaves are picked and it is harvested on the same day each week, 52 weeks a year. The only exception is when the bushes have been pruned. After the bushes have been pruned, insecticide is used to control weed growth. Queen Elizabeth National Park lies across the equator and is bordered by two lakes, which are joined together by the Kazinga Channel.
And these hippos, they just live in big territories, big schools. And they are the most dangerous animals in Africa.
So it's a school?
Yeah. And such a kind of noise, it should be a sign of a challenge to the newcomer. Maybe the boat, together with all of us, the guys are challenging us. They say, what can you do?
Over the past 40 years or so, Uganda's wildlife has taken a hammering from poaching and war. However, with the restoration of peace, the government and wildlife authorities have done a great deal to eradicate the poaching, and the wildlife is once again increasing in numbers.
The one that build the nests.
A male.
Yeah, and the females just come and check which nest is worse. And if they come and say no, then the male has to
Build a new one.
destroy it. And among the lizards, they keep predators, the crocodiles. Yeah, very big. Maybe one is a male, one is a female.
Over 100 different types of mammal and 600 bird species can be seen in the park. There are many locals selling their vegetables and fruit by the side of the road, and when we stop, they're all desperate to sell us their produce. The Rwandan genocide was a mass slaughter that took place in 1994, and in the course of approximately 100 days, somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million people were killed, as much as 20% of the country's total population. It was the culmination of long-standing ethnic competition and tensions between the minority Tutsi, who had controlled power for centuries, and the majority Hutu peoples. The Volcanoes National Park became a battlefield during the Rwandan Civil War, with the park headquarters being attacked in 1992. The research centre was abandoned and all tourist activities ceased. They did not resume again until 1999. In order to visit the gorillas, a permit is necessary, and only 80 permits are available each day, 8 for each of the 10 gorilla groups. The permit allows visitors to experience a habituated family group of mountain gorillas for a period of 1 hour upon their visual contact with the gorillas, and a distance of no less than 7 meters. But first you have to trek through the forest to find them. Conservation and permits have made a significant impact on the number of gorillas, rising from a low of less than 500 to the current 880. 5% of the permit fee is given back to the local communities. Porters are available to help you carry your day pack, for a small charge of course. The dominant silverback determines the movement of the group, leading them to appropriate feeding sites. The acacia group is well known for continually moving and spending most of its time on the forested peak between Mount Sabyinyo and Mount Gahinga. This is the acacia group, named after its silverback leader. It is the second largest family that can be visited by tourists, a group of 25. All of the gorillas have names. They were given at the annual naming ceremony which takes place each June. Gorillas can be identified by their unique facial features. In order to find the gorillas, each group is tracked. At dawn, a tracker goes out into the forest to the last known location from the previous evening to find the group. This information is then relayed to the guides. Gorillas are early risers, and these hours are spent eating, as large quantities of food are needed to sustain its massive bulk. It forages in early morning and then rests. Adult males can eat up to 34 kilograms of vegetation a day, while a female can eat as much as 18 kilograms. This gorilla's been feeding on too many young bamboo shoots. The digestive system creates alcohol, and it would appear that he's a little intoxicated. Diane Fossey arrived in 1967 to study the gorillas, and she set up a research centre and spent most of her time in the park. She is widely credited with saving the gorillas from extinction by bringing their plight to the attention of the international community. She was murdered by unknown assailants in 1985, a crime often attributed to the poachers she has spent her life fighting against.
Susan?
The mountain gorilla is highly social and lives in relatively stable, cohesive groups, held together by long-term bonds between adult males and females. These groups are non-territorial. The silverback generally defends his group rather than his territory.
Seems like